Ted Bundy, David Berkowitz, the Zodiac Killer, Charles Manson, Jeffrey Dahmer, Malcolm Jamar Warner. These names have become synonymous with serial killers. But what about the names that have been forgotten? What about the worst serial killers? Meet John Berry, the worst serial killer.
Now, when we say he was the worst serial killer, we don't mean that he did the worst stuff. We mean that he was just really bad at it. My daughter has a guinea pig who's a much better serial killer than John Berry.
I remember I was sleeping in my bedroom, and he came in through the window, and he had crazy eyes, and he had a large knife, and he said, "I'm gonna kill you." And then he put the knife to my face, and then he saw the blood, and then he started crying, and then he peed his pants, and then he jumped out the window, and he said, "Please don't tell anybody."
He didn't like the sight of blood. I mean, how can you be a serial killer if every time you see blood, you shit your pants and cry?
Where did John Berry come from? Why was he filled with such a desire to kill? And why was he unable to fulfill that desire?
Well, one thing you gotta realize about John Berry is that, first of all, he had a lot of flatulence, so people could hear him coming. Should we go down this dark alley? What was that? Is somebody there? Let's get out of here.
Wait, come back! Oh, but it wasn't just the farting. I mean, he was an idiot. He was a goddamn idiot. Sometimes he would actually let people know that he was going to try to kill them.
Hello?
Hi, my name is John Berry, and I'm a serial killer.
What?
I was just curious. Are you going to be home tomorrow around 3:15?
Yeah.
Could you leave the door unlocked? You have any rope there?
No.
I guess I gotta go pick some up then. Gotta go to Home Depot's complete other side of town.
I gotta go.
See you tomorrow. I'll be the guy in the mask.
Great.
Please don't call the police.
Oh, sure.
Another hindrance with John Berry is that he was very forgetful. I mean, sometimes he'd go on a murder spree, but he'd forget to bring the murder weapon, and he would have to improvise.
Hello. What can I do for you?
Hi, I'm here to kill you.
With what?
This gun.
But that's a cat.
No, it's a gun.
It's clearly a cat.
I said it's a gun.
All right, then, shoot me.
What?
Shoot me if it's a gun. Shoot me.
I just remembered I gotta pick up my mom from the airport.
Meh.
I'll see you later.
Now, a lot of serial killers will write letters to the police. Zodiac did that to taunt them. The lipstick killer did that to basically beg them to catch him. John wrote letters too.
It was me who tried to kill Tom. It was me who tried to kill the old lady with the cat. It was me who kept farting in that alleyway. Please, stop me before I try to kill again.
The police did not care. So he started to write clues.
When the moon is full, I will be in the land of white, where the sound of laughter is mixed with the chirps of crickets.
The police never figured out that clue because they never even opened the letter. So he got a little more obvious.
I'll be at the McDonald's on 3rd Street. Arrest me.
The police did show up, but only to serve him with a restraining order to make him stop writing to them.
Ah, shit.
But how did John Berry get this way? Like all beginnings, you have to look at the beginning. Like most serial killers, John had a very difficult childhood. His father was a ghost, and his mother was a table lamp. He would spend a lot of time alone. He'd go in the basement and masturbate to pictures of Alvin and the Chipmunks. He would also enjoy setting fires to things, usually his own face.
He was born in Mississippi, which is already a reason to want to kill people. But he was bullied a lot at school. One time, they stole his head, and he was trying to get his head back, and they were just throwing it around, and he was like, "Give me back my head." It got so bad, the principal had to step in and be like, "Give him back his head."
I knew George when he was just a little boy. He used to come home and we used to give him ice cream. And sometimes I'd play with his penis. And I'd say, "Do you like that, George?" And he'd say, "No, ma'am, I don't." And then I started to put my finger in his butt. And I was like, "You like that, George?" And he'd say, "No, ma'am, I don't."
Yes, that's great, but we're talking about John Berry.
Oh, I'm sorry.
But who were you talking about?
Nobody.
It was about this time that John would start torturing animals. Now, I don't mean physical torture, I mean mental torture. Like he would make a cat watch the Wendy Williams show, or tell a turtle it was fat. Stuff like that. In one occurrence, he sent a letter to a snake saying it was pre-approved for a loan. And then when the snake called for the loan, he rejected him.
It was around this time that John Berry turned to murdering people, or at least trying to.
First of all, he was really bad at choosing disguises. Like the Boston Strangler would pretend to be a repairman. Ted Bundy would dress up like an injured man. John Berry would dress up like Chewbacca. Just didn't make any sense.
Can I help you? Okay, take care of yourself.
One time, to get into a woman's house, he tried to think of who would be the one person that she would let in. And the answer came to him, herself. He dressed up like her, thinking she'd, of course, welcome herself into her own house.
Hi.
Hi,
Who are you?
I'm you.
And, no, you're not.
No, I'm you.
I'm me.
I'm also me.
You're an old man with a wig on.
That sounds like something I would say.
Why are you dressed up like me?
Why are you dressed up like me?
I'm gonna call the police.
Can I use my bathroom? I'm an asshole.
Then came a long string of would-be victims.
He came in my house and he had a knife. Well, not a knife. It was one of those sporks you get from Nathan's where you eat the French fries with it. It just broke. And then he farted and he left.
He pushed me down the stairs, but I wanted to go downstairs anyway, so it worked out.
He tried to use his farts as a weapon. He tried to Dutch oven me to death. But the joke's on him. I like farts. He was my neighbor, and every morning he would come by and give me a cup of tea. For months, he was putting poison in it. But he's an idiot. It wasn't poison. It was ginkgo biloba. I can remember my birth now. He broke into my house, and he had a gun, but he forgot the bullets. So he went home, and this time he came back with the bullets, but he forgot the gun. And he said, "I'll be right back." So this time he came back, he had the gun, he had the bullets, but he forgot his head. So we just watched TV together.
Well, he tried to pay a fat guy to sit on me, and that's how I met my husband.
Well, he tried to choke me with piano wire, but he didn't take the piano wire out of the piano. So when he tried to lift the piano, he threw his back out.
And then I called the cops, and they just came over and laughed at him.
He put a syringe in me. But instead of chemicals, it was steroids. I actually got stronger. I just beat the shit out of him.
He tried to kill me with his balls.
He tried to get me to commit suicide by dressing up like my wife and fucking my neighbor. I just jerked off. I thought it was hot.
You see, John Berry wanted to feel special. He wanted to feel better than people. He thought being a serial killer would give him notoriety and it would give him direction in life, but he couldn't do it. So he turned to suicide. He made a noose, put it around his neck, and he jumped out the window. But he forgot to tie the rope to anything, so he just fell 2 floors. He broke both his legs.
That's how bad of a serial killer he is. He couldn't even kill himself.
John Berry was a failure. He was never arrested, nor put to death. He currently works at an Orange Julius, and we had the chance to speak to him there.
Hello.
So how many victims do you have?
178.
But how many of them were actually killed?
-3.
How is that possible?
Yeah, well, one time I broke into a guy's apartment. He was having a heart attack. I didn't want to kill a dead guy, so I revived him.
And why didn't you kill him then?
I had to take a shit.
Understandable.
So actually, since he had -3 victims, he actually did the opposite of what a serial killer should do. He was an idiot. He was a fucking idiot. Worst serial killer ever lived. I wish a serial killer would kill him. He wasted all this good film. Hello? Is anybody here? Is anybody still here? I guess I'll just leave.